Chip and I are here chatting, and if you would like to be included in all of our chats, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're here to talk about container gardening, and there's lots of applications for container gardening all over the country. Some people don't have room to do any type of in-ground gardening, or some people have such hard, terrible soil that they want to raise up the level so they don't have to bend down, and use a really good soil so they don't have to deal with their bad native soil. So if you want to learn how to make the best potting soil around, tune into this video. I'm John Valentino. I'm a landscape architect and a landscape contractor, and we've been in business. We're actually in our 41st year doing all kinds of gardens and designs and soil reclamation projects. So we have 5 favorite ingredients to make a very simple but extremely fertile and productive potting soil. And I tried to do it with simple measurements, so instead of going by specific measurements, I'm referring to parts. You can use a shovel, a bucket. I used this size container. One topsoil, one coarse sand, and that's our first ingredient. Those are very easy to find. Coarse sand is almost at any building supply place. The topsoil is also available frequently. I found one at Home Depot by a company called Earth Grow, and they call it topsoil. It actually has some other things in it, but for the purposes of this potting soil, I used that Earth Grow product called topsoil. You could use just real topsoil. So 1 part topsoil, 1 part sand, and in the sand, try to use a coarse sand. It's not critical, but a coarse sand. Sometimes you'll go to a building supply place and they'll have more than one gradation of sand. Buy the most coarse sand you can find. So the second part is the organic material, and 1 part sphagnum peat moss, which is very easy to find. It comes in big bales, and 1 part some type of organic matter like a pine bark or forest humus. I found one called amend, which is a very common one, and amend is excellent to use. It has bark and forest humus type products in it. So 1 part sphagnum peat moss, 1 part amend or some type of forest humus or pine bark. One part maximize. That's our own product, our own John and Bob's product, made of lots of minerals, mycorrhiza, a good quality compost, and then 1/3 part Nourish-Biosol, or our organic fertilizer. Just those 3 parts makes an excellent potting soil. Some people are really interested in making the potting soil as light as possible, and since you're using topsoil and sand, those 3 parts are not as light as it could be. So if you're interested in making it as light as possible, you can substitute 1 part vermiculite for the topsoil, or 1 part vermiculite for the sand, or you could substitute vermiculite and perlite for the sand and the topsoil. And those are very lightweight materials that will completely change the weight of it, but still retain moisture and take up space in a way, and won't detract from the fertility of the potting soil. Vermiculite and perlite are both widely available. I saw them both at Home Depot. They're lightweight materials that are used in commercial potting soils. Almost every time you go to the nursery, you'll see little white specks in the plants, and that's either perlite or vermiculite. You don't want to go to the trouble of mixing your own and buying all those ingredients and then mixing them. there are a lot of pre-mixed potting soils on the market. Most of them aren't very good quality. One that I think is good quality is called Black Gold, and we have no affiliation with Black Gold, but it's a very good potting soil that you can buy already mixed, and pretty easy to find. You can find it online. You can also find it at a lot of Ace hardware stores. So Black Gold is a favorite of mine if you want to skip the first 4 steps and go right to the 5th and buy your own potting soil. So regardless of which of the potting soils you end up with, most gardening experts and most nurseries will tell you that you need to change the potting soil because plants like tomatoes and other vegetables are heavy miners of nutrients, and you'll end up with this lifeless soil if you don't change the potting soil every year, and that you can't grow tomatoes one season and then plant tomatoes in the same potting soil again. The neat thing about our line of products is we make it so you don't have to change potting soil in any container gardening, and that makes it so much more convenient. In spring and in fall, if you use our 3 granular products, Nourish-Biosol, Maximize, and Optimize, and then spray over the top with Penetrate, then you can keep the same soil, grow whatever you want in it, 2, 3, 4, 5 years in a row, it doesn't matter. It will be completely fertile and productive. We'd like to hear from you if you're growing something unusual or unique in containers. There's lots of possibilities out there. Some people in the Midwest grow citrus in containers and then wheel them inside their house in the wintertime. Anything you're doing that you think is of interest, please put it in our comment section and let us know about it. Hey, if you think this was a pretty good video and you want to let Chip know, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel and use our products. Thank you.